and welcome to another episode of the Good Human podcast. Today I'm going to talk about confidence. This is probably what I get asked about more than anything else. And how can I be more confident? Now, I've came to this nice little succinct conclusion of what confidence is. And I think it will vary a little from this, depending on the individual and the situation. But confidence is knowing that who you are, internally and externally, the language that you use, how you think of yourself, how you think about other people, how you speak about yourself and how you speak about other people, is kind. It's so unwaveringly good that you do not fear rejection from your tribe. So that in any given situation, you believe in the good in yourself and you believe in the good in others. And that can make you unwaveringly confident. Now, if you take fear as being the breaker of confidence, fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear of condemnation, fear that you've done something wrong, said something wrong, treated somebody badly, fear that your tribe will reject you, then it starts to make more sense that confidence is the unwavering knowledge that you treat everybody well. So, I'll give you a couple of situations so that you can picture yourself being confident. A simple one is that you're going to walk out in front of 20 odd people to speak. Now, why would it frighten you to do that? Why would it dent your confidence? Or why would you feel like you lacked confidence if that's what you were going to be doing? And it can only be because you fear making a fool of yourself. Now, how can you make a fool of yourself if you believe that you're a good person, you're humble, you're willing to be wrong, and you believe that other people are the same? If you believe that other people are cruel and that they can be cruel to you, then you are more likely to be nervous and lack confidence. But if you believe that other people are inherently good and that everything that you do, say, think, feel is in line with that, then you cannot be threatened. So, because I can tell people still aren't buying this, they're like, no, it's scary because, like, what if you trip over? But if you trip over in front of people, so one, if you trip over and you're perfectly humble and you're not carrying ego of perfection around with you, then you will just trip over, get up, laugh and carry on. If you believe that you need to be perfect all the time and you trip over, then you will be embarrassed, humiliated even. You will feel incredibly vulnerable, open to criticism. And if you believe that the people viewing your trip are the same as you, as in they have ego, they're not humble, they are critical, then you will be certain of the condemnation of the people watching you. Confidence is not ego. It is often misidentified. It can look the same as arrogance, unless you really know what confidence is. Once you really know what confidence is, then you absolutely can spot arrogance, insecurity, and ego a mile off, and they are the opposite of confidence. Now, we see this a lot on the internet. We see an awful lot of people striking out at others, trying to succinctly and beautifully in their mind bring the person down. That's got nothing to do with that person. It is the insecurity and the fear of the person doing the commenting. So I often, I feel awful really sometimes for famous people who put themselves out in the public eye and who become obsessed with the opinions of commenters on the internet when they simply do not need to. Because every one of those negative comments says nothing about that famous person and everything about the person making the comment. So if you're somebody who has at one time or another tried to strike out at somebody on the internet to make them wrong, to bring them down, to make them small, then the only person that you are striking out at, bringing down and making small is yourself. And to anybody who understands this, it is so disgustingly obvious that it means nothing to you. I've not had many negative comments on the internet over the years, one or two, not many. And any time it happens, I cannot help but I just feel hard for that person. Like I feel sorry for them. I was trying not to say I feel sorry for them because I don't think pity is the correct response. I feel for them. I feel hard for them that they are in such a insecure and vulnerable situation that they think that they can gain confidence by trying to bring a stranger down on the internet, when actually what's happening is that they can see that stranger's confidence and it makes them feel more vulnerable. And that's a shame. That's a shame. Everybody deserves to feel confident. Everybody deserves to find their feet. But let's go back to what I said at the very start about how you become more confident. You have to know that you treat other people well. Now, you will not always get it right because you're human, okay? There's no, don't set yourself up reaching for perfection. Just keep trying to change your language, change your narrative about how you view yourself and about how you view other people. And as you evolve over time, you will get better and better at it. And you'll start to find that you defend people instead of insult them. And I'm talking about the things that go on in your head as well as the things that come out of your mouth. So you'll stop thinking that people are out to get you. You'll stop thinking that people don't like you. And you'll start understanding where they're coming from. I always think there's an interesting story. It's an extreme forgiveness story. And this is the level of understanding of other humans that is achievable. And that's the story of a woman whose son was shot by another young boy. And instead of condemning the shooter, she believed in him. She forgave him, and ultimately she adopted him. Because if a young boy gets to the stage where he shoots someone, something awful has brought him to that stage. Now, this is an extreme example, but it's to try and get you to understand how powerful it is to look for the good in people, how powerful it is to understand human behaviours, emotions, habits, reactions, actions, and where they all come from. In some cases, the reason that somebody does something awful is because they have something wrong with their brain. I'm just laughing because it sounds like I've just made that up. But no. So there's an interesting story of a boy who was starting to have violent fantasies. He was drawing violent pictures and images and using quite violent language, and it turned out that he had a cyst in his brain. So sometimes when somebody's behaviour is inexplicable, there really is something else going on there. Is anybody inherently evil? I don't know. What I do know is you don't come across them very often, right? The vast majority of people, maybe there is no such thing as inherently evil. Maybe in any one of those situations there is a medical reason behind that. But we're so quick to condemn our fellow humans. We're so quick to put them into little boxes and go good, bad, morally incorrect, morally valuable. We often forget to look at ourselves and lean into who we are and analyse how we view the world. Is that person really bad, or did they just say a bad thing? Did they just behave in an unacceptable way one time? And could there be a reason behind that? Has somebody in their family just been diagnosed with an illness? Has somebody just treated them really badly? Now, that doesn't make behaviour excusable, but if you start to look at this, right, look at the overview of this. So say you are that person who has just had a family member diagnosed with an illness, and you find yourself irritable, and you find yourself, your buttons are getting pushed and you're getting triggered easily, you're snapping quickly, and other people are looking at you going, what's wrong with that person? Why are they acting like that? So if we all develop more self-awareness, then when you are that person whose family member has just been diagnosed with an illness, other people then go, they're acting so out of character, I hope they're okay. I'll go and ask them if they're okay. So I hope that makes sense. I think it can be challenging if we've lived our entire lives at a low level of self-worth and in an extreme lack of confidence. I think it can seem like an insurmountable task to get yourself to the top of the confidence hill. But you don't need to go to the top of the confidence hill in order to vastly improve your self-worth and your life. You just need to start going up the hill. Thank you for joining me for another episode. If you've got any questions, criticisms, I would love to hear from you, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for joining me.